Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're tackling what is, honestly, one of the most critical puzzle pieces of global food security today: fish biotechnology. We're going to look at the cutting-edge aquatic innovation that's quite literally reshaping our oceans, our aquaculture systems, and, the future of how we actually feed the planet.
So why does this matter so much? Well, just take a look at the question right here. How do we meet the soaring global demand for seafood while simultaneously protecting our rapidly declining wild fish populations? We're talking about incredibly high stakes here. We simply can't keep pulling fish out of the ocean at current rates. We have to farm them smarter, healthier, and way more efficiently.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with what fish biotechnology is, open up the genetic toolkit, cover fish health and nutrition, look at real-world applications, and wrap up with limitations and the future.
Section 1. What is fish biotechnology? Unlocking the Aquatic Innovators Toolkit.
At its core, fish biotechnology is the use of biological techniques and molecular technologies to improve fish breeding, growth, disease resistance, nutrition, and environmental sustainability in aquaculture and fisheries. The crucial point here, the real takeaway, is that this isn't just science for science's sake. It's about engineering a highly sustainable future for aquaculture by fusing genetics, microbiology, and environmental tech into one incredibly powerful discipline. When we look at the major objectives on this slide, this really represents the ultimate why behind the science before we even get into the how. Obviously, we want to increase fish growth and productivity, right? But we're also aiming to improve disease resistance, enhance reproductive efficiency, and develop entirely new, improved fish strains. Add in better feed efficiency and conserving our vital aquatic genetic resources, and you're looking at a comprehensive blueprint for sustainable farming.
Section 2. The Genetic Toolkit. Modifying the fish.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the incredible leap in scientific precision. On the left, we've got traditional selective breeding. This relies on natural genetic variation over many generations to get desirable traits, like the faster growth we've seen in improved tilapia strains. But look on the right, transgenic and CRISPR technology. This is where scientists can introduce foreign genes or make ultra-precise genome modifications, like the growth hormone gene transfer in salmon. We've essentially moved from slowly observing nature's improvements to precisely engineering them ourselves. But the genetic toolkit goes way beyond just editing single genes. Scientists can actually manipulate the entire chromosomes of the fish. Take polyploidy, for instance, which involves increasing the chromosome number to create fish like triploid salmon. Why do this? Well, it not only improves growth, but it often makes the farmed fish completely sterile. This is a massive environmental win, because if they ever escape, they literally cannot interbreed with wild populations. We've also got gynogenesis, which uses only maternal genetics, and androgenesis, using only paternal genetics. These methods let scientists rapidly lock in those highly beneficial traits.
To figure out exactly which traits to lock in, scientists rely heavily on genomics and molecular markers. You can think of these DNA markers, like SSRs and SNPs, as kind of a microscopic magnifying glass. By utilizing whole genome sequencing and genome mapping, geneticists can pinpoint the exact sequences responsible for things like disease resistance. This drives marker-assisted selection, meaning breeders know exactly which fish have the absolute optimal genetics before they even mature. It's an absolute game changer.
Let's shift to Section 3. Fish health and nutrition. Managing the environment.
Take a look at this really fascinating step-by-step process of fish reproductive biotechnology. This is how controlled breeding practically happens on a commercial scale. Step 1 is artificial insemination, where we carefully control fertilization using collected sperm and eggs. Step 2 is hormonal induction, which naturally stimulates spawning. Step 3 is cryopreservation, allowing us to safely store sperm and genetic material long-term. And finally, Step 4, embryo technology, which seamlessly supports those highly specific selective breeding programs we were just talking about. But breeding superior fish is really only half the battle. We have to monitor them and keep them healthy. By using rapid diagnostics like PCR tests, we can catch pathogens super early. Then, biotechnology gives us advanced fish vaccines and immunotechnology. The industry is out there using inactivated, live attenuated, recombinant, and even cutting-edge DNA vaccines. And this brilliantly illustrates a core benefit. By proactively vaccinating fish against common pathogens, we drastically reduce the need for antibiotics in aquaculture. That means much better survival rates and a way more sustainable ecosystem for sure.
Of course, we also have to feed them right.
Nutritional biotechnology improves what the fish eat and how efficiently they process it. By adding things like enzyme supplements, probiotics, prebiotics, and utilizing alternative feed ingredients, we are actively improving their digestion and growth. The result here is twofold: healthier, bio-enhanced fish and significantly lower farming costs. That's absolutely crucial for keeping our global food supply chain economically viable.
Section 4. Real-world applications. Beyond the farm.
Because fish biotechnology isn't just about putting dinner on the table. Look at these other essential applications. In environmental monitoring, we use these exact same tools to study water pollution, track the effects of climate change, and gauge overall ecosystem health. In conservation biology, it's vital for assessing genetic diversity and monitoring endangered species populations. And get this, in pharmaceutical research, fish actually act as incredible scientific models for human drug testing, toxicology, and disease research. The impact here is vastly bigger than just farming.
Finally, Section 5. Limitations and the future. Challenges and next steps.
Naturally, the field is navigating several structural challenges. First, there are the high research and technology costs. This level of science is incredibly resource-intensive. Then, we have genuine ethical concerns regarding genetically modified fish, which are inherently tied to the environmental risks if transgenic fish were to somehow escape into natural wild ecosystems. These realities point directly to the ongoing need for strict, comprehensive regulations. Furthermore, for a lot of aquatic species, we simply still have limited genomic information available. These are just the practical hurdles the industry has to impartially navigate moving forward.
Let's move to this quick recap and see how everything builds into a complete picture. Genetics and CRISPR give us precise genome modification. Reproductive tech provides our controlled breeding environments. Vaccines lock in disease prevention. And bioinformatics gives us the massive computational power required to actually analyze all these genomes and proteins. It's just an incredibly robust toolkit.
And the recent advances are pushing these boundaries even further. We're now seeing the integration of AI-assisted aquaculture management, where complex algorithms optimize farming conditions in real time. We've got environmental DNA, or eDNA monitoring, where researchers can literally test a single water sample to see exactly what species have been present in that environment. Couple that with precision aquaculture technologies and ongoing CRISPR-based improvements, and we are stepping into an era of truly intelligent aquatic farming.
Which brings us to our final thought for today's explainer. With AI-controlled farming and climate-resilient fish actively on the horizon, how will biotechnology ultimately reshape the future of global food security? Will our wild oceans be saved by the very laboratories working to replicate their bounty? It's a fascinating frontier with incredibly high stakes for all of us. Thanks for joining me, and keep questioning the science that feeds our world.